Well, first I'd like to thank all you guys for coming out here today. I'm really appreciative of, taking the time. I know some people drove about an hour and a half to get here, and I'm just thankful for that. The next act is someone who's already performed today. He's going to do better than the last time he performed. I'll try not to squeak up here. Although actually part of the act is about 15 minutes of squeaking, so it'll be tough to keep that promise. I've done a couple of these things before, and sometimes I'm sitting up here telling jokes like the way me just being myself would tell jokes, and sometimes I'm doing it as if I was playing a character of Meher Baba, telling jokes that Meher Baba would find funny, especially to other avatars sitting in the crowd, sort of a ethnic comedy for those avatars. So that's what I'm doing today. The first one I did earlier this year was Meher Baba Ethnic Comic, and this is Meher Baba Ethnic Comic 2, Second Incarnation. Also, just to help with some of the blocking here, there'll be an introduction by like an MC or something, and then the Meher Baba character himself will come on. Would just be me anyway, so I'll just try to run off stage and run back on or something so you guys can figure it out. I had a coat before that I would wear, but it's kind of hot today. And also, a lot of this stuff, you kind of have to have some knowledge of who Meher Baba is, so I hope you've read all 20 volumes of Lord Meher in preparation for this. If you guys haven't, I'll give you a moment here. Maybe you can whip out the iPhone, read the Cliff Notes version online. You guys aren't doing anything, you're just sitting there. Need to get working on this here, people. Well, all right, I think we've given enough time there. But so anyways, as I said, the introduction will begin momentarily, and then after that, the character will come on. All the avatars in the house, give me a what? All the Kutubs in the house, give me a Baba. Ooh. All the plain saints in the house, leave immediately. No, I'm being serious, because you're really bringing down the average plane of consciousness up in here. You also bring down the median and mean plane of consciousness. I'm not sure I care too much about those mathematically, but you're really harshing our buzz, because the guy you're about to see, we need only the most illumined souls to enjoy his comedy. He's a true triple threat, a man so funny he makes Shirdi Sai Baba seem like Zar Zarbak. You might have seen him in his movies. He's a movie star. He was just in a blockbuster starring alongside Tyler Perry and Tajuddin Baba entitled You the Man, God. And you might even heard his music. He just had one of his singles came out inspired by John Cage's classic piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. His song is called 44 Years and Counting. And it just went triple platinum, so good for him. And now today, you get to see him on his Pink Collar comedy tour, coming to Walnut Creek one day only. So I hope you guys are ready to put your hands together and your butts off for the Maestro of Mukti, the Sultan of Sanskars, the Avatar of Avatar-oriented comedy. Yes, that's right. Hey, ba, ba. Hello, Walnut Creek. Great to be here today. I'm always happy to be here. I was just on the road for a long time on the New Life. Not sure if you guys know what the New Life is, but basically you have to give up all your stuff, and if you want anything at all, you have to beg for it. Or as I like to call it, marriage. Hey, you've been a great crowd. Hope you guys are doing great. No, I'm just joking. They always say to, end on your best joke, and it's pretty much all downhill from here. So I hope you really enjoyed that peek right there. No, basically what I'm trying to say is, if you truly do get mastery from servitude, there's going to be a whole lot of married men becoming avatars pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Nailed it. But anyways, no, I was just over in Myrtle Beach, thinking of putting a center out there. Not sure if you guys have been out there. It's gorgeous. There's forests and trees and pristine beaches as far as the eye can see. I really hope they tear that down to put in bargain beachwear stores and strip clubs. I hope it's just wings and eagles and wings and eagles. And it would be great if there was a Hooters across the street from my center. That would just be perfect, And that's my design aesthetic. And I definitely think you guys should listen to me when it comes to design aesthetics, because I did create the world in 6 weeks after all. Yeah, 6 weeks, not 6 days. Bit of a typographical error there. Been living that one down for a long time, you know. I mean, have you ever tried to create the world in 6 days? You'd have to work like 24 hours a day, and I'm a union god, you know, so I'd get smoke breaks, and, you know, I don't think we can afford overtime at that level, you know. I think we're the local 7, I think is the name, the Intergalactic Brotherhood of Amalgamated Ahura Mazda. You know, that's our title. But try not to trip over the things here. But you know, whenever I'm in a new area, the first thing I do that's very important, you try to look to see if there's any new employees to hire, any new Mondali. So the first thing I do, and you guys can take this as a lesson, all the avatars in the crowd, I like to put a help wanted ad in the newspaper, something like single white avatar seeks fortunate slave to manage must hunting department. Must be willing to work 168-hour weeks and beat me with a shoe. Colonel Irani types need not apply. Must hunting experience helpful, not required. Minimum 2 years experience Microsoft Word required. That last part there is mostly to weed out the old people, you know. I know it's ageism, I know it's technically illegal, but I figure I'm the avatar, I can get away with it, you know. And anyways, it's mostly for health insurance reasons. You ever tried to cover a must hunter? You ever try to get insurance? I mean, when did chai tea burn become a pre-existing condition? You know? When? Don't even get me, do not, you right there, don't get me started on all of the latrine-related injuries they will not cover. I don't know, it's so frustrating. But it's important to get the young people, the young bucks, the tough people, because being a Mondali member is really, you know, you've got to find people who won't take any guff. Because you'll have a lot of guff to give them, they cannot take any guff. Being a Mondali member, a real guff-free lifestyle. And the first thing to do when you find some people interested is, of course, the interview. The Mondali interview is very important. First thing to do when they get in there is look them up and down and judge their appearance. Because if there's one thing us avatars are good at, it's judging a book by its cover. And look to see, did they take the time to iron their kurta? Did they take the time to, you know, maybe comb their mustache a little bit? And how does their mustache look? Is it full? Is it fluffy? Is it bristly? You don't need a bristly mustachioed, you know, Mondali member. Take it from me. That's just common sense. So then once you get them in there, take them into the interview, it's important, maybe, try to calm them down, a little small talk. So, how those sporting teams doing these days? They're really engaging in athletic pursuits competitively, aren't they? Important thing at this point to remember, not everybody is the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and knowledge itself. So try not to ruin the season for these people. All right? Try not to give away the end, you know, how they're going to do in the playoffs, if they make the playoffs. Which they won't, by the way. All the local teams, sporting teams suck. Learned that one the hard way, you know, that was rough. So then, once you get them in there, you've calmed them down with some small talk. It's time to talk some turkey, to get down to brass tacks, to talk business. Ask them the important, hard-hitting questions with the information you need to know. What experience do you bring to being a Mondali member? Oh, Guns N' Roses groupie? All right, you're in. That sounds good. I'll accept that, you know. You get some weird stuff, you know, night managed at TGI Fridays. I don't know if that's really Mondali appropriate, you know. Played the character of Turtle on the TV show Entourage. I'll accept that, you know, I guess. Being in an entourage is kind of like being in a Mondali. We don't get to go to the MTV Music Awards as much, I guess, you know, so that's good. Another question that's of the utmost importance to ask, is what originally got you into the Mondali business? Because you need to weed out the people with the dollar signs in their eyes. You need to find the people who are doing it for the love of the Mondali-ing, and not for the big money contracts. You know, they see people out there, they see Alabo with his gold-plated bell, you know, rolling deep on dubs with the spinning rims, you know, and they see Erich with the giant, you know, Master and Servitude pendant with the grill and the bejeweled necklaces and all that, you know, and they see bar soap making hella Skrilla, shilling products, mostly soap, and, you know, they just think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, and believe me, take it from me, you need to get those people right out immediately, you know.